Captain Sierra Velasquez stood in the command center of the SS Ruckus, arms crossed, eyebrow arched so high it practically needed its own airlock. Across the holoscreen floated the projection of an alien ambassador, a bulbous, gelatinous creature covered in twitching filaments that shimmered like jelly on a drumhead. Prayer Galactic Mandate 44, B, Section 9, the translator croaked, glitching slightly with every wet slurp of the ambassador's speech. The Council requests immediate human withdrawal from the Terran system. Your species has been deemed behaviorally unpredictable. Sarah slowly turned to her first officer, Lieutenant Orrin Kale, who was trying very hard not to spit out his protein smoothie in laughter. They want us to do what exactly? She said, her voice deceptively calm. The ambassador pulsed anxiously. Relocation, for the safety of the Galactic Collective. Sarah rubbed her temples. And if we respectfully decline? The ambassador blinked with what might have been offense. Then the full strength of the Armada will encourage compliance. Of course, Sarah muttered. She stepped forward, folding her arms and letting the silence hang. Do you know what your analysts got wrong, Squibble? Can I call you Squibble? My designation is Glurthovax. Cool. Squibble it is. Your mistake was assuming humans would respond rationally, but we don't do rational. We do improv. Squivel, Glorin wobbled uncertainly. Our simulations predicted fear, retreat, submission. The dauntless horizon cruised above Earth in a controlled orbital drift, its sleek hull catching the sunlight in rippling bands of gold. Captain Alina Vega stood with arms crossed on the observation deck, her reflection staring back at her from the curved glass. Behind her, the hum of celebration echoed faintly through the corridors. What had begun as a potential intergalactic conflict had quickly morphed into the weirdest diplomatic breakthrough in recorded history. First Officer Raj Malik stepped up beside her, still holding a half-empty mug of what appeared to be Neon Jew alien punch. You know, when I joined Space Command, I figured I'd be dodging laser fire, not leading dance workshops for sentient jellyfish. Elena smirked. Be honest, Raj. You live for this chaos. He grinned. Only when it includes glow sticks and pan-galactic karaoke. The bridge lights dimmed slightly as a priority signal blinked on the main screen. Alina stepped forward, tapping the console. The deck of the ISS Solar Rhapsody throbbed with bass as intergalactic madness spread like a contagion across every comm frequency. Captain Lyra Voss stood in the center of the bridge, arms folded, as if daring the universe to throw anything more ridiculous her way. Through the massive viewport, she watched the Galactic Armada flounder, not from weapons fire or sabotage, but from sheer, unrelenting absurdity. Alien dreadnoughts swayed in awkward sync with the music blaring from Earth ships. Human pilots in customized starfighters zipped through enemy formations, trailing confetti clouds and colored smoke. One ship, Valkyrie 6, was currently disco-rolling across the hull of a Zarnathi destroyer, its commander blasting boogie overdrive on an external speaker while shooting holographic fireworks. Ensign Rain, status update, Lyra said, her voice more amused than concerned. From the bridge of the star cruiser Celestial Ruckus, Captain Kayla Myron watched with an expression hovering between disbelief and reluctant admiration. The ship's AI Cora had just finished patching a dozen alien transmissions through the main display. The cacophony of voices, dialects, and sparkly visuals was like opening 1,000 party invitations at once, each with glitter that somehow stuck to your soul. Kayla sipped her synth coffee, trying to process it all. Her first officer, Lieutenant Reese Tal, leaned back in his chair, his eyebrows attempting orbit. "Captain," he said, deadpan, "I think we may have accidentally become the galaxy's event organizers." Kayla exhaled through her nose, suppressing a laugh. That, or we're one bad karaoke night away from being crowned deities. The chaos had started with a simple transmission, a flashy, sarcastic retort to an alien threat to evict humans from their solar system. But things had escalated in the most human way possible, with music, sarcasm, and spontaneous dance. And now it seemed the rest of the galaxy. Captain Xena Voss had seen a lot during her tenure aboard the _SS Rhapsody _, but watching a bioluminescent squid beam try to lead the electric slide while tangled in glow sticks was definitely a new one. "I swear, if we survive this interstellar circus," she muttered to Commander Elric Ton, "I'm putting in for hazard pay." "Only if I get a cut," Elric grinned, narrowly ducking a tray of fluorescent jelly shots being levitated across the deck by a particularly gleeful cluster of Andronian gas sprites. The _Rhapsody _ had been officially redesignated the Milky Way's premier cultural exchange hub by the Galactic Concord, a title that apparently translated to throw the biggest, weirdest party this side of the event horizon. The observation deck was awash in light. Starships of every make and model sparkled in low orbit, covered in what looked suspiciously like cosmic confetti. Somewhere, someone had hacked the asteroid field's defense grid. Captain Valora Miles had long given up on the idea of a quiet shift aboard the SS Jubilant Horizon. Ever since the incident of intergalactic grove diplomacy, things had escalated from bizarre to outright bonkers. Now, standing on the observation deck, she watched as alien ships executed synchronized flight patterns to the beat of an 80s Earth playlist. "Captain," came a voice over the intercom. It was Lieutenant Juno Lin, her comms officer, trying and failing to hide a chuckle. "You may want to check Cargo Bay 3. We, have a situation." Valora sighed, sipping from her now lukewarm mug of synthetic cocoa. "Define situation, Juno, and be specific." The Glarnith delegation discovered bubble wrap. She blinked. "And? They've declared it sacred. They're rolling around in it and composing what they call the orbit around Echelon Prime had become less of a strategic waypoint and more of a galactic tailgate. With the diplomatic blockade now a distant memory, and Earth officially branded the Milky Way's capital of cosmic revelry, Captain Sira Marin found herself captaining less of a battleship and more of a floating interstellar festival grounds. From the bridge of the SS Vibrator, Sarah sipped her lukewarm calf blast and squinted at the surveillance holos. Streams of alien ships drifted in like a slow-motion traffic jam, each radiating neon auras, trailing glitter trails, or blasting their own bizarre renditions of human dance music. "Captain," said Ensign Ziv, barely as the afterglow of humanity's wildest interstellar gathering began to fade. Captain Vega Solari stood on the observation deck of the Euphoria Rising, staring out at the chaotic constellation of alien vessels. Earth hung below like a blue and green jewel, wrapped in orbiting strobe lights and laughter that seemed to echo through the vacuum of space. There was still glitter embedded in the ship's ventilation system, and the faint echo of karaoke from 3 decks down. "We're gonna need a decade to clean this up," murmured Rajiv Knox, sipping from a steaming mug that smelled suspiciously of something stronger than coffee. He leaned on the railing beside her, watching a group of Fozari dancers glide weightlessly between shuttles, their bioluminescent robes pulsing to a beat no human could quite hear. Vega smirked. "Only a decade. You're getting optimistic in your old age." Down on Earth, news anchors were still. Captain Zarya Voss stood at the center of the UN virtual chamber, her holographic image flickering slightly above the glowing dais. The backdrop behind her buzzed with diplomatic energy. A gallery of Earth's most influential leaders peered at her through the feed, each one trying to process what exactly was happening in orbit. "Captain Voss," said the Secretary General, his tone a blend of exhaustion and disbelief, "would you care to explain why our solar system currently resembles the aftermath of a music festival held inside a fireworks factory?" Zarya glanced off-screen for a moment as a trio of bioluminescent aliens floated past, carrying what looked suspiciously like inflatable dolphins. She turned back with the practiced calm of a starship captain who'd seen worse. "In short, sir, Captain Solara Miles leaned against the polished observation deck railing of the Aurora Pulse, the unofficial epicenter of the galactic party still unfolding in Earth's orbit. Below, The glittering planet shimmered against the backdrop of 1,000 alien vessels, blinking like disco stars in the void. The conga lines had given way to slow, swaying motions of cosmic unity. It was peaceful, for the moment. Beside her, Commander Ray tilted his head. "You think they'll remember us for this, Captain?" Solera smiled. "I think the galaxy's going to need therapy after this." The two shared a laugh, their drinks glowing faintly in neon hues. Inside the ship, the rhythmic thump of alien bass lines pulsed through the bulkheads. Someone was doing the worm across a zero-G dance floor. Again. Incoming transmission from Earth